today, the day of filming this video, is the 15th. It is Thursday at the time of filming this video. I say that because I'm not sure if I will upload it on Friday morning or Thursday evening. Either way, obviously, we are looking at the lawsuit, or at least a latest date on the lawsuit, happening very soon, perhaps as soon as today or tomorrow, again depending on what time I upload this video. But we are seeing very interesting things coming up for Hcmc. The intention of this video is to clear things up because people are confused as to what is going on with the lawsuit tomorrow, why tomorrow is significant, and why it is the most significant date that we have seen yet. And again, that is just my opinion, but we're going to be talking about all of that in this video. I'm going to try and keep it short for you guys, perhaps under 10 minutes. We'll have to see how long it does take us to cover things. But again, all of that information is coming up in this video. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. On top of that, guys, I know you already know it because I talk about it every single video, but I am going to say it again just for my safety and your safety. I am not a financial advisor, I am not a lawyer, and I do actually own shares of Hcmc. Personally, I own around 1 million shares of Hcmc, actually around 1.1 million. I'm waiting on an order for 500,000 shares. And again, it still hasn't gone through. I've taken all of you guys' advice, put the asking higher, put in multiple orders of perhaps £25 a time. It still hasn't gone through. But you know what? I am still waiting on it, so that's my disclosure. Obviously, owning about 1.1 million and waiting on an additional 500,000. So there you go. Anyway, let's start off by looking at the price action of Hcmc. This is boring as usual. Nothing has happened today. Right now, we're bouncing between 0.0011 and 0.0012. Now tomorrow, which is Friday, we definitely could see this change. We could see some big growth. Perhaps not too significant because it's not that significant of a date, even though it is quite a significant date. But I think we definitely could see some hype come into stock in the early hours of tomorrow, which could bring us an increase in price. Anyway, today nothing has really happened. We're bouncing between red, neutral and green, doing this stupid barcoding pattern that we have been doing for the longest time now. It pretty much is ridiculous now. It's ever so stupid, but at least it's not going down by too much. And actually, if we look at this one on the more technical charts over the past week or so, let's say, we can see, even though today's candle is fairly flat so far, basically from this low here, which I believe was at 0.001, we have actually gone up for 1, 2, almost even 3 days consistently, now leveling out at this 0.0012 range. And again, I think this is because people are probably trying to get their orders in before things do start to commence in regards to the lawsuit. So that could be one thing to talk about. Anyway, let's not get boring looking at the share price recently because it has been ever so dead. Let's talk about tomorrow and why this is significant. Well, we've already discussed this lawsuit many a time. I'm going to tell you guys every single time when we talk about Hcmc versus Philip Morris and all that kind of stuff. Please just search up Hcmc N2S Finance and watch the 25-minute video that we made the other day. I think it was made like last Saturday. Please give it a watch if you haven't already, because we talk about everything that you need to know over a whole half-an-hour video. But yeah, we've talked about the lawsuit before. We already know what is going on. I would presume that you have watched that. And tomorrow we can see, according to this Pacer Monitor article, that the 16th of April is when Philip Morris have to file their reply on this motion to dismiss. So apparently, last time their motion to dismiss didn't work because they had failed to state a claim. So why is this significant and what is happening tomorrow or today, again, depending on when I am uploading this video? Well, let's keep it simple, right? Basically, tomorrow we are hearing Philip Morris's reply. So why is this significant? It will give us a bit of an indication as to what their argument is going to be and how valid this is going to be as well. If they have an argument which is pretty valid, again, they may have a chance in court. If their argument is complete nonsense, chances are their case will get dismissed. So as we all expected, tomorrow is another day in a lengthy process. Legal goings about, if you will, are not the quickest thing to happen. They take months, sometimes even years. I've spoken about this before. We don't know what is going to happen with Hcmc. Chances are it might rocket, chances are it might fall and plummet to the ground. At the end of the day, if it does rocket, it's not going to happen overnight, and if it was to rocket, of course the people who held it for the longest would see the biggest rewards, and that is what we do need to remember. But ultimately, tomorrow will give us an indication of what their argument is, and then we'll have to see what the judge is saying on whether their argument is valid and the case gets dismissed, or whether their argument is not valid enough or isn't decent enough and the case does go ahead. Now again, if the case does go ahead, then we are definitely going to be looking at something like a long-term lawsuit which could take weeks, months, years, and get a payout that way potentially, or it would be in both parties' best interest to work on a settlement. Now again, this is a positive situation if they are to get this lawsuit granted in their favour. The other hand of the story is obviously if they don't get this one granted in their favour, we could see the share price fall by even half of what it is right now. I personally think that even in a worst case scenario, we're not going back to 0.0001, and the reason for that is because I think that a lot of people now know about Hcmc, which didn't know about it before. That is true, and I think these people, or at least some of them, will be willing to hold it for better or for worse. Personally, like I have said before, I own shares of Hcmc. I am going to hold them for a year or two. I don't care if it rockets, I don't care if it plummets. Of course, if it rockets to the moon, I would definitely take profits. If it plummets to the ground, oh well, I've lost $2,000, and that's the end of that. That's just the way that I'm taking this one, guys, my personal opinions, but what I'm trying to say is tomorrow is the first in a long series of dates, and it will give us an indication of what Philip Morris's argument is against Hcmc. So we will be looking at this document when it does come out tomorrow, hopefully. Sometimes it does come out a bit later at night, so generally speaking, I upload these videos at about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock UK time, and sometimes these documents came out at about 10, 11, 12 o'clock UK time, so potentially I might be looking at this one on Saturday, but we will be looking at Hcmc again very soon. This is a place to watch all your Hcmc videos, so make sure to subscribe. Again, watch that big long 30-minute one if you haven't already, because we talked about everything in there, and that is it. So thank you for joining me. I made it very quick as promised. I'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye.